So students, as we have already discussed transport in plants chapter completely, so now we have to discuss next chapter, that is locomotion and movement. This is the last chapter to be taught, and entire chapter to be taught. Remaining 2-3 parts are there from 2-3 chapters that I have to deal separately. I have to teach that separately. But entire chapter which I have to teach is last chapter, this chapter. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಡೀ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಇನ್ನೂ 3 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ, ಅದು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಇಡೀ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಅದರ್ ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೊಕೊಮೋಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದೇರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ the word locomotion. Locomotion means walking, movement, locomotion and movement. So movement means, so locomotion and movement, that is walking, running, all that comes under locomotion and movement. So sorry, so the meaning, locomotion is a voluntary movement resulting in change in location. You can see that the person is running. It's a voluntary movement, means it is under our control. Like whenever we have to move, we will move. Otherwise we don't. So it is under our control. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಬಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ವಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಲೋಕೊಮೋಷನ್ there will be change in the location. Like at present I was here, I start walking and stop there. Okay, so I have changed my location. This is common sense that we change our location when we go from one place to other place. So locomotion is defined as, it is a voluntary movement which is under our control, voluntary movement which results in change of location. Then all the locomotion movements, all locomotion are movements, but all movements are not locomotion. Means locomotion means walking or running or movement. Okay, so all movements are not locomotion, because you see I will show movement of my finger now, but it is not walking, it is not locomotion. Okay, there is no change in position here, there is no change in position, isn't it? So all the locomotion are movement, but all the movements are not considered as locomotion. Okay, so next interesting fact. What is locomotion? Locomotion and movement are interlinked. They both are connected to each other. Like how I told you, all the locomotion are movements, but all the movements are not locomotion. So they are linked with each other, they are interlinked. Like different types of movements in different organisms, if we have to study, that is the first part of this chapter. Different types of movements shown by different types of organisms. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರದ್ದು, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡುವ. So the first type of movement is called ciliary movement. Ciliary movement, name only says. So movement is shown by the cilia. Like in paramecium, you can see this is the structure of paramecium. The paramecium structure, when you look at it, it looks like a sole of a slipper, no? Like the slipper, what is there, base of that will be having shape like this one. No, it looks like a foot shape there. So especially slipper base, ಅಂದರೆ ಚಪ್ಪಲಿಯ ಕೆಳಭಾಗ ಕಣ್ಣಂಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಅದು. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಪುರ್ ಚಪ್ಪಲ್, ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಪುರ್ ಚಪ್ಪಲ್, ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ವೇರ್ ಆನ್ ಶೆರ್ವಾನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಅದು ಆ ಥರ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಮದುವೆಲೆಲ್ಲ ಗಂಡು ಹಾಕ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮಿಷಿಯಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಪರ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಪರ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಕ್ಯೂಲ್. Animalcule means animal-like organism, which looks like a sole of a slipper. Earlier it was called like that. Later it is renamed as paramecium. So you can see in paramecium, on the surface, many hair-like structures you can see. So you can see hundreds of hair-like structures on the outer side. All that is cilia. So all the hair like structures will beat at a time like this, so it will show movement. It will swim in water and goes from one place to other place. So ciliary movement is one type of movement shown by Paramecia. Then tentacular movement is there, where they use, some organisms use tentacles, like you already know Hydra. Hydra is having tentacles, no? Tentacles, long slender structure. So by beating the tentacles like this, so it will show movement in water. So that is also a kind of movement, and it uses tentacles for catching the prey also, insect also. Then limbs help in change body structures and for locomotion. So limbs means, you know, hands and legs also show movements, so that it is helpful for locomotion. Like this type of movement is called muscular movement, where muscles are used for movement from one place to other place. So ciliary movement, then tentacular movement, then muscular movement, then one more is there called flagellar movement. Flagella, long tail like flagella is used, it beats the flagella and moves forward. Even human sperm also will have a flagella, it is tail, it is called tail there. So it will move with the, by beating that, sperms will swim and move forward. So that is one type of movement. Then that is what I was talking about. See here, different types of movements in different organisms they are showing. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜೀವಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್, ಅಮೀಬಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್. ಲೈಕ್ what is that? Already you have learnt in previous chapters. Amoeboid movement, like they use pseudopodia, false foot or false legs. Okay, pseudopodia use madidre, then it is amoeboid movement. Like for example, cytoskeletal elements like microfilaments also help for this. You know what is the meaning of it. Flagella contains microfilaments. 9+2 arrangement already you have learnt. Microfilaments, proteinaceous. Like for example in macrophages and in leukocytes, that is macrophages and in white blood corpuscles, leukocytes also, this is helpful. This type of movement is helpful. You know that macrophages, they protect our body. Like macrophages are meant for phagocytosis, cell eating. That is, if any bacteria or virus enters, then macrophages will swallow them and it will kill the bacteria, so that we are safe. It gives immunity. So they also show some movement, okay, with the help of pseudopodia. Then that is called amoeboid movement. Then ciliary movement, already you saw, that is in Paramecium. They will have hair-like structures on the body, cilia. By beating the cilia, it will move forward. Then also it will remove foreign substances present in the body. Any foreign material enters the body, it will remove it by cilia. Then even oviducts for passage of ova. Even in trachea also, see, trachea, that is windpipe, no, windpipe. That is a passage for lungs. Lungs ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಟ್ರೇಕಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ inside the trachea there is hair like structure, that is cilia. That is helpful for removing the dust particles. Any waste is there, it will remove. Then oviducts in the fallopian tube of female reproductive system, you already know now. In the fallopian tube of female reproductive system also, the movement of egg from the ovary towards the isthmus junction, there the movement of egg from the ovary to fallopian tube happens with the help of cilia. Okay, ciliary movement. Then muscular movement, you already know what we show. With the help of muscles, we show movement, walking, running, all these are movements. The movements of limbs, tongue, jaw, all these. Like not only legs for walking, hands also we show movement. Then tongue also can move. Even jaw movement also you can do. That is also because of muscles. So it is supported by muscles. So amoeboid, ciliary, muscular, three types of movements. Then next is one by one we will see amoeboid movement. Like you can see what happens there. like in macrophages and white blood corpuscles, what happens, you can see they are showing one bacteria is there here one bacteria is there, and this is a actually round cell. Now it has extended. You can see what is happening there. Movement is happening towards one side. Otherwise the cell is almost circular. Now it has started going towards one side. You see the some part of the body start moving towards one side. That is called extending the pseudopodia. It will extend the pseudopodia, then it will move towards the bacteria, then it will swallow it. It will eat the bacteria and protects our body. Sorry. Next, ciliary movement. You can see what is cilia, you already know. So this is a ciliated columnar epithelial cell, long epithelial cells, okay, and on the top you can see this hair like structure there, brown color. That hair like structure is cilia, so it shows ciliary movement there. That is required in the trachea, windpipe, which is passage to lungs. There any dust particle enters along with oxygen, along with air when we take. If any waste is there, it will remove. Okay. Even not only there, even in the nose also, ciliary epithelium is there here in the nose. That is the nasal hairs, what is there inside. Nostrils ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೂಗಿನ ಹೊಳ್ಳೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂದಲಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ, that is meant for removing the waste. It acts like a filter. Then you can see here, this is the egg and this is the sperms. These are the sperms. So movement of sperm towards the egg, because sperm also has flagella. That is also movement. It is also called ciliary movement. Next, muscular movement. You can see human beings showing different types of movements. No, that person is doing exercise here. Okay, here push-ups, then weightlifting. Okay, then you can see here he's doing different kinds of activity. So when we show different types of activity like walking, running, dancing, okay, all that, even doing exercise, performing yoga, all these are because of the movement of muscles. You know, for moving hands also we need muscles. Then types of movements in human beings, if we see, like sperm is there, sperm, this is a sperm and this is a tail. What do you see? This is head part and this is a middle piece and this is tail. Already you know the structure of sperm now. Okay, so it beats the flagella and moves forward. Then euglena also has a flagella. By beating the flagella it will move forward. Okay, this is also called flagellar movement because they use flagella for their movement. Now let us learn human muscular system. Different types of muscles already you have learnt in other chapter. You have already learnt different types of movement, but what we have to discuss now here is human muscular system includes muscles which are mesodermal in origin. Mesodermal, you know, in animal kingdom chapter you have learnt that cells in our body are arranged in 3 different layers. Outer layer is ectoderm, inner layer is endoderm, and middle layer is mesoderm. Mesoderm produces muscles, so that is why we say muscles are mesodermal in origin. And muscles have different types of abilities like excitability, contractility, extensivity and elasticity. You know what is the meaning of this. Okay, muscles will be excited when you perform exercise. Okay, contractility, muscles can contract and muscle can extend. Okay, then elasticity is also shown by muscles. And different types of muscles already we have learnt in a different other chapter, so no need to discuss, like skeletal or voluntary muscles or striated muscles, non-striated or smooth or visceral muscles, and cardiac muscles present in the heart. Already we have discussed about it, so I'll not discuss. Already we have discussed, you know, in other chapter we have discussed it. Now the 3 types of muscles we have already discussed in other chapter, so no need to discuss again. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ರಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಲ್ತಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎನಿವೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಸಲ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೀ 3 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಲಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಸಲ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಾಲಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಸಲ್, ಮಸಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಮಸಲು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಲಿಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿರೋದು, ನೆಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿರೋದು, ಓಕೆ, ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಟ್. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ skeletal or striated muscles or voluntary muscles. 3 names. Striated because they have striations, lines or stripes. Then it is also called voluntary muscle because it is under our control. It is also called skeletal muscle because this directly binds to bones. Now very important part is this. Very important part. Like skeletal muscle is made of many muscle bundles. What you see, one muscle they have cut, okay, and they are showing inner part of it. You can see that one skeletal muscle, this is one skeletal muscle entire, okay, you can see there they are showing, okay, it is like a tube they have cut in the center and they opened it and they are showing. One muscle will have many bundles, muscular bundles. You see these round bundles, what you see, that is called fascia, that is muscle bundle, or you can also call fascicle, fascia or fascicle, okay. Then so muscle fibers are called fascicle, you see here, bundles, okay, fascicles. Fascia is the outer cover, don't get confused, I repeat once again. Each muscle is made of many bundles. You see here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 bundles, but actually there are many bundles. You can see here, if you count these the structures here, all these are the entire part is one fascicle, and the outer cover of this fascicle is called fascia, what you see here. And there are blood capillaries, blood vessels supplying, you can see, okay. Then fascicles are held together by collagenous tissue, that is called fascia. You can see here the outer cover means the collagenous tissue, what is there here. So in between two fascicles, that white color tissue, what you see there, that is fascia. Fascicle is a muscle bundle, like that many bundles are there. You see, this is one muscle. One muscle will have many fascicles. This is one fascicle they are showing enlarged, okay. So you can see here the same thing what they are showing here. One entire muscle, skeletal muscle, contains many bundles, that is each bundle is called fascicle, muscle bundle. And in between you can see here, in between two fascicles, the connective tissue is there which binds there like a gum, that is called fascia, okay. Then each muscle cell or each muscle fiber means thread like, what you see here inside the thread like structure. Like one fascicle, one bundle, if you cut, it will have many thread like structures. Each thread like structure is called muscle fiber. Many muscle fibers together forms one fascicle. Many fascicles together forms one muscle. So when I cut the skeletal muscle, you can see many bundles of muscles, that is called fascicle. Each fascicle, when you cut, inside there will be many thread like structures, that is called muscle fiber. Fiber means thread like, okay. And each muscle fiber, the outer cover is called sarcolemma, and the cytoplasm of that muscle fiber is called sarcoplasm. Like cytoplasm we say, it is sarcoplasm. I repeat, each muscle contains many muscle bundles, that is called fascicle, and two muscle bundles are joined by connective tissue called fascia, Okay, and in each bundle, in each fascicle, there will be many thread-like structures called muscle fibers. Now I think it is very clear to you. Then you can see the person is showing his biceps, and the muscles will contain like this. Already you know. See, this is a muscle, and these are the fascicles, and in each fascicle he is showing one cylindrical muscle fiber thread-like, and in each muscle fiber there will be again smaller thread-like structures, that is called microfibrils. Fibrils you can say, or fibrils also you can. Microfibrils. So each muscle will contain many muscle bundles called fascicle. Inside the muscle bundle there is muscle fiber, and inside the muscle fiber again many thread-like structures will be there, that is called myofibrils. Okay, so smallest is myofibril, largest is skeletal muscle. I repeat, skeletal muscle, inside fascicles, inside the fascicle muscle fiber, inside the muscle fiber myofibrils, a thread-like structure. Okay, now what we have to learn is this smallest, thinnest, what is there, no, myofibril. Inside the myofibril, when you look at that myofibril, one part of that myofibril they are showing, it will have different kinds of bands there. I band, A band. What is that means, that we have to see now. Okay, so before we go to that bands, first of all you should know that muscle fiber or myofibril, what is there, it contains two types of proteins, and those two types of proteins are very, very important, because those two proteins present in the myofibril are required for contraction and relaxation of muscles. Contraction and relaxation of muscles. Okay, so contraction, ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು ಕೈ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Okay, so actually what you think this is relaxation, no, actually this is contraction. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ this is relaxation, because I'll tell you why. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. You hold here, you hold your hand here, okay, or you can hold your hand here in this part, then open it. You'll come to know that this portion is going backwards. That means it is contracting. Okay, then when you bring it here, now it will go back to its position. Now it is relaxed. So contraction and relaxation of muscles, that is required for movement of muscles. The muscle movement agಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ this is contraction and relaxation. For contraction and relaxation of muscles, two types of proteins are required, that is there in the myofibril. That two types of proteins are actin and myosin. First protein is actin, ACTIN, actin. One more is myosin. I think no, they didn't write. Anyway, it's there here. It's written. One is called actin, other one is called myosin. MYOSIN, myosin. So these two proteins are very much required. Now let us see what are these bands there. First one is, each myofibril has alternate dark and light bands. You can see there what they are showing. Okay, so that is, one is dark band, other one is light band. Means what you see here, black color, this black color, what you see here, if you see here, you will come to know. These are the one black line, and this is light color. This is black, this is light. You can see in between two black, one light, or in between two light, one black is there. Alternative, one after the other, like one black, one white, one black, one white, like that. Okay, so the dark band, what is there here, which looks black color here, the dark band is called anisotropic band or A band. Here you can see anisotropic band or A band, that is from here till here. This black color, what you see band, that is A band. It is called anisotropic. That is why word anisotropic starts with letter A. So it is A band. Then the light color, what you see in pink color here, these two. Okay, that is, here you can see this pink color in between black, that is called isotropic band. The word isotropic starts with letter I, so it is called I band. What you see here, this pink and this pink, that is called I band. Okay, then two types of proteins are required They are called fibrous, thread-like contractile proteins. Contractile protein means it is required for contraction and relaxation of muscles. Their name is actin, actin filament and myosin filament. Filament means thread-like structures. You see here, these what you see, these black color lines. No, that is what you see there. That is this color and pink color. That those are thread-like actin and myosin proteins. They have those proteins are present like a thread, so it is called actin filament and myosin filament. Then very clearly they are showing very clearly that you can see here, this is dark color band, what starting from here till here, all this thing is dark band, that is written as A band. They are showing in green color line here. The entire part what you see here, this black color, this is A band, and what you see in between this blue color here, that is I band. What you see, they have written here I band. Starting from this black color line till this black color line, the whole thing here is A band, and in between two black, this what is there, that is I band. This is anisotropic, this is isotropic band. Okay. Then very important thing is what, that is actin and myosin, where it is present. This blue color what you see, that is actin. The blue color thing what you see, that is actin, and the black color thing what you see is myosin. This is this rod like. The blue color is actin and this black color is myosin. Once again, understand properly. The blue color is actin and this black color is myosin. Okay, then in between two actin, in between two blue color, what gap is there, that is called H zone. H zone. You see here, H band or H zone they say. Then exactly here, this orange color dot what you see, the orange color dots, 1, 2, 3, the line exactly here in the center, that is called M line. M line, that all you can see here. See, in between these two, that is in between these two, this line what you see in the center, that is M line, it's written here. Then in between these two, the gap what is there now, starting from here till here, that is H zone. Clearly you can see this thing only they have enlarged here. So the black color line what you see, no, cross lines like a rose, that is this, they are showing 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, so wherever this black color part is there, entire part is A band, and wherever this blue color part is there, here in between black, that is I band. This is anisotropic, this is isotropic. Then in between two actin, the gap is H zone, and the line in the center is M line. What you see here, this black color line, M line. Then very important thing is one more is there, that is called Z line. Z line. What is that Z line? That is very simple. In between two actin, in between two blue color, you know, he's here, in between two blue color, this black color line what they are showing, zigzag, this black color line zigzag, that is Z line. It's showing here, no, here, this zigzag, the what you see like this zigzag structure like a Z here, that is called Z line. Okay, so the I band what is there, the I band which contains this blue color, that is actin, and A band what is there, this band, A band contains myosin. Okay, they are arranged parallelly to each other, they are arranged parallelly. One, you can see that they are arranged parallelly. Actin, myosin are arranged parallelly. Okay, so in our next class we will continue this, because in one class discussing too much, then it is not good. So keep watching my classes. Thank you.